What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing. We're back with another video, and in today's video, guys, me doing the PvP tier list as of December 2023, guys, with the update of the 4.5 anniversary. We do have 4 characters that we have yet to actually add onto the tier list for the PvP side of the game, and so we're going to be discussing that in this video. Before we actually hop into the video, make sure to subscribe to your boy Amazing. We are on the road to the 40,000 subscribers. If you guys have not hit the subscribe button already, man, definitely make sure to. We are, I think, are around 500 subscribers, a little bit give or take, 500 subscribers away from that 40,000 subscribers, man. So if you guys have not hit that subscribe button already, bro, definitely do it for your boy. We're grinding. So yeah, guys, that's with that out of the way, let's hop in and let's go over the 4 characters here that we have brand new that came to the game since the last tier list, and let's actually talk about where I'd rank them on the PvP tier list. Alright, guys, so starting with the first character here, we have Osen Hawk. Now, on the actual game here, Osen Hawk is not really a character that's going to be run in PvP, but he does definitely have some viability in the sense of, like, if there's any defense meta teams, he's going to be good. For you guys that don't know, the passive here for Osen Hawk is going to be increase allies defense by 50%. So this is going to be a pretty good defense buff that you can run for, like, teams like Naofumi team, Raftalia team, right? Any teams that benefit from having high defense scaling is going to be good, and you can run him in the back. He does, work as a sub-slot character in all content, so you can definitely run this guy in PvP. For his actual skills, though, if he does come onto the field, he does have damage dealt as his first or as his buff skill, and then for his attack skill, he has pure single target, which is not going to be doing like too much in PvP. He also does have the expel ultimate, which, you know, from the actual ultimate itself, it is nice that it can stop, you know, the enemy from kind of doing things, but it's not really going to be like a super broken ultimate or like game changing or anything like that. So in terms of like where I'd actually place Osen Hawk on the tier list, guys, I don't think he's going to be used too often. He's definitely going to be in at least the C tier, guys, because you can run him on Naofumi Raftalia team, and because that team, you know, kind of needs as much defense as possible but also wants a little bit of CC, you can definitely run Osen Hawk as a backline, instead of running the blue Guild Thunder as a sub, because you're gonna have more CC running Osen Hawk than you would from running blue Guild Thunder wherever I have blue Guild Thunder, because he is okay for that defense team setup, but he's not going to be better than the Osen Hawk, even though, you know, he is, yeah, blue Guild Thunder. Blue Guild Thunder is giving, I think, 60% defense, but it's only for blue allies. Osen Hawk just gives 50% outright, and because he has higher CC, I think he would probably be in the same boat as blue Guild Thunder for like a defense, you know, oriented team. So yeah, I mean, I think because of that, he would be in the underused or power crept below average characters. He's still going to be usable on a defense team, guys, but it's not going to be one of the meta teams in the, you know, the current meta of the game. Alright, guys, so the next character we're going to be going over is going to be the brand new Elet here, so the Celestial Elet. She is actually a pretty good character in PvP because of the new meta that is kind of arisen here because of, you know, the Queen Elizabeth releasing a little bit earlier this week. And yeah, man, I mean, Celestial Elet's going to be great. Let's talk about her kit here, guys. In terms of her passive here, she's going to increase basic stats of Goddess allies by 5% for every Goddess ally participating in the battle, increase the Goddess allies damage dealt by 3% for every buff applied to the Goddess allies, and this works in all content, so that means you can run her in PvP as a backline, which is great. Goddesses needed a backline, and now they have a 15% basic stat buffer with a 24% damage dealt buffer for every buff on the allies, which, you know, is definitely going to be good, right? You're going to be able to get that full 24%, and then also the 15%, which is just outright given. Now, her Holy Relic isn't going to provide anything for PvP, as it is a Knighthood boss battle Holy Relic, but it is going to be nice CC from the backline. For her actual kit, if she does come onto the field, guys, she does have gauge reduction, which can be nice if you're facing like an alt rush team, which is not that bad. She also does have cleanse here if there's any like debuffs on the team that's going to be affecting you super heavily. And then for ultimate, if you ever get it off, she's going to have grand debuff immunity, remove debuffs from all allies, and increase defense related stats by a certain amount depending on the dupe level. So Celestial Elet, I think, is a great character. Now, for her actual ranking here, she has to go into the meta tier list, guys, and because of that, I actually am going to move up the rest of the goddess characters. So these characters will actually be going up into the top tier right here, because they're going to be in the top of the meta right now in PvP. I didn't actually change this till now, because we're adding Elet now. We might as well add all the goddess characters that we're going to be rocking, but pretty much the main meta team right now, I think what I'll do actually is I'll put Elet in sub meta, because I do think that Tristan is going to be a better backline right now for the main goddess team that is being used in PvP right now. So right now I'll have Margaret, and Tristan right now here, and when we talk about the rest of the characters, which, you know, spoiler alert, we have 2 more goddesses we're going to be adding here. They're going to be in these tiers as well, so we're going to talk about it. But I do think think that you could argue Elet is here as well. You can probably just leave her here, honestly, because you either run her or Tristan. So I guess there's the flexibility. I will probably just leave her here. But yeah, man, I mean, we have the standard meta teams right here with the unknown team. We have the human team, and now we have the goddess team in the top of the meta right now. And I think nothing really changed too much in terms of the usability of these two teams. I think these teams are still definitely top of the meta alongside the goddess team, which I think is going to be probably the best team in the game right now, considering what we got. Alright guys, so the next character we're going to be going over is going to be Margaret. Now, in the actual game here, we do have Margaret pulled up. She is a very broken character, guys, but the problem is with Margaret is she did not actually improve to the point where like it's doing anything that the original Margaret was doing already, right? That's the thing. This Margaret is not, you know, improving too much upon her original variant because of her, you know, being really good at base. She didn't get too much of a buff in terms of her kit, but for what she did get buffed, she already did the 40% basic stats, but in addition, increase the goddess allies crit chance and crit damage by 4% for each debuff removed from the hero's skill use, and that goes up to 5 times, which means you can get a 20% 20% crit chance crit damage buff in PvP after you cleanse, like, you know, maybe some source of pains from hell, or if there's like a, you know, a debuff that's applied on you, you can cleanse it. Boom, you'll get some you know, technically attack related stats, but mainly crit chance crit damage. And then for her actual skills here, she does have crit resistance lower on her charge skill, which is going to scale up a little bit differently than it used to. It actually goes up to 358 at rank 3, which is very good. Her buff card did get an upgrade on the rank 2 and the rank 3 in terms of the damage dealt and damage reduction, which is definitely really good. Her holy relic is still the same, so, you know, damage reduction, damage dealt for the 4 archangels on the battlefield. And then for ultimate here, for and it's going to increase all enemies damage taken by 50% for 2 turns. You know, it's going to do the sever effect, and then it's going to do the block effect if you're 6 out of 6. So depending on, you know, how high your dupes are, you will be able to apply block effect, and it's going to be really good. In terms of where we're actually going to rank Margaret, guys, I do think that she goes in the top tier with the main PvP setup right now with the regular Margaret. If I'm going to rank this Margaret this high, we could probably put her in this here, I guess. Actually, no, you know what I'll do? I'll put regular Margaret in A and then Margaret in S, because she is the top of the meta versus this one being, you know, not the top of the meta technically, because the other one's better. But like regardless, it's the pretty much the exact same unit, but you get the 20% crit chance and crit damage and better stats, which means you are LTCing. That means you are obviously going to be a lot stronger. And so because of that, I do think that Margaret is deserving of the S tier, and we can actually move down the regular Margaret to the A tier, but she's still part of the best team in the game if you make her LR and run her on PvP right now. So yeah, that is the Margaret right there. Now moving on to the final character, guys, I'm just gonna move Elizabeth to the top. You guys know exactly what this is. I'm actually gonna order the tier list in terms of the best team in the game versus the other team. So we will move up these characters right here. So this is the best team in the game in my opinion, either Tristan backline or Elet, mostly Tristan though, right? And then you do have the unknown team, and then you do have the human team. I think that's going to be the top of the meta right now in terms of PvP, because, you know, the human team definitely has the counterplay with Escanor being able to buff strip, you know, whatever the gods team is going to do. They also can deal with unknown, you know, fairly decently as well. But unknown team can still beat goddess team if they get some really good counters with Albedo, if they do, you know, enough damage with like hell and tier, so they definitely still have a chance. And I think right now the main meta is kind of centered around the goddess, unknown, and the human team being super prevalent. So for Elizabeth herself though, guys, let's actually pull up Elizabeth and talk about her in game. But I think Elizabeth is a great character because she's doing a lot for the team that goddesses needed. They needed another DPS character, which she is you know, a DPS in PvP, and she can provide that. And she also is just a very strong support type character as well, in the sense of she's providing the revive and she's providing the damage reduction. So for you guys that don't know, Elizabeth's passive here applies light of intervention on the enemies for 2 turns at the start of the battle, increases all stats of the hero by 7% for each applicable ally participating in battle. In addition, the hero gains Goddess Wrath when an applicable ally uses an attack skill, and if a hero uses a single target attack skill at max stacks of Goddess Wrath, it removes stances from the target and applies a stun for 1 turn. Then Goddess Wrath stacks effects are actually removed. And then yeah, intervention of light, guys, is going to be attack related stats minus 10%, and then whenever you're attacking a character that has 3 or more ultimate move gauge, you can remove 1 ultimate move gauge from the target's ultimate moves. And then for the applicable allies here, you're going to be able to run, it's going to be goddess, human, or 7 deadly sins characters. And then for the Goddess Wrath effect itself, it's going to be attack related stats 6%, up to, what is that, 6, 12, 18, 24%, which is going to be very good. For her actual skills here, guys, she does have punishment single target, which is going to be triple the pierce rate increase, 20% damage dealt for every Goddess Wrath on self, and it's going to scale up to 500%. Her second skill here is going to be the Fury card, guys, where she does the AoE, you know, pretty much flood damage, but it's going to be a lot more than flood. It's actually 1% additional damage for every percent of remaining HP on self, which is really good. And then the 50% damage dealt for Goddess Wrath when it's at max stacks. Obviously scaling up to the 300%. And then as I mentioned with the ultimate here, guys, this is where Liz becomes just a broken character. Even at low dupe, she's not as crazy, but she's still providing a revive for a character, which is very, very strong. So if the hero is participating in the battle and there are 2 or more allies surviving at the end of the ally's turn, the ally with the lowest remaining HP percentage receives Goddess Protection, and the allies without Goddess Protection has their damage decreased by 20%, and that is depending on the amount of dupesy that you have. So like I have 6 out of 6 on my main account, so it's going to be up to 10 turns long, which is broken. That means pretty much the whole PvP match. There's no way the match goes longer than that. And then for the actual base part of the ultimate here, it's going to increase the hero's attack related stats by a certain amount, inflicts a certain amount of attack percent on the enemy, and then applies Intervention of Light for 2 turns across all dupe levels. The Goddess Protection is going to be the revive, as you guys know, and it's also going to be exactly the way regular Goddess Liz does the revive, where it heals them, it revives them back to their original HP that they had, and then the damage reduction is going to be 20% depending on your dupe level as well. So yeah, guys, I do think that the Elizabeth is warranted being in the top tier for PvP right here. She's just a really good character, man, and right now I do think that goddesses are the #1 team in PvP across the whole PvP metagame, right? You have Stun with Liz, you have Cancel Stance, which stops Albedo, you have Cleanse with Margaret, which stops Hell's sorts of pains, you have Tristan Backline, which gives you 45% defense related stats, you have Elet, which gives you up to 15% basic stats, 24% damage dealt. Mael obviously being a very, very good character now that he has these allies to actually work with, because I've been saying Mael is always a character that was very strong. He just needed the rest of the team to be strong with him, and now he's a very broken character. As you guys can kind of tell, Mael is now one of the best characters in the game because of that, and in PvP as well, which is really good. And then this team is able to deal with a lot of the other teams. I think human team is a pretty good counter to Goddess team right now, because they have the buff stripping with the LR Askinor, and they do also have the critting from Roxy. But the thing is, again, guys, this team is just so tanky that even with Tristan backline, the defense related lower, it's not going to be too helpful with how strong the team is going to be tanky wise, right? Like humans are going to have a kind of a rough time dealing with it. Unknowns I definitely think can deal with them though still, and then even like demon teams can also deal with lower CC goddess teams, because they can build up like basic stats really quickly. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for the tier list. I hope you guys do enjoy. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about the ratings here of where I rank the characters and how you guys think these characters perform in PvP after you guys testing them yourself. But yeah, man, that's going to be it for the tier list. I hope you guys do enjoy. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe as always. If you guys want to see more videos like this, definitely let me know in the comment section below. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video, man. Peace out and have a great rest of your day, guys. See you later, man.